Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge and tell you what I think is good and bad in there. Also going to take a look at his weekly event troop, the Ghost Ogre. Let's take a little look at it. Does magic +3 damage to an enemy and explodes 1 to 4 ghost gems. Okay, it's a bit lame. Hopefully the troops are not troops, the traits are good. Undying, immune to poison disease, lycanthropy and death mark. That's right. Gain 1 life on 4 or 5 gem matches. And haunted. 15% chance to create a ghost gem when my turn begins. Ooh. Do you see? Anyway, it's not very good, is it? 13 mana cost. You having a laugh? Crikey. That's it's very expensive for that spell. I mean, unless you're a really new player and got literally nobody that does any significant damage or damage at all, and I can't think of any real reason to use that unless the explode ghost gems is useful for some reason in a certain team. Yeah, oh goodness, that's a bit poor. 3 out of 10 for you, Ghost Ogre, mate. Bit rubbish, but get it anyway. A score could be increased if somehow ghost gems become more important in the game, but let's get it all the way up to Mythic if you got enough glory. Always a good thing to do. Right, let's pop to the resources and grab our Spoils of War. Always like to do this every week as well. Get 10 of them. Get some event keys. Some more lovely treasure maps. Some souls and a bit more gold. Why not if you got the spare glory? Anyway, a man assaulted me today with some milk, butter and cheese. How dare he? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We know they're bad, but that's the whole point. Where am I going? Oh, yeah, games, Soulforge. Right, let's take a look at the weapons first. As ever, all the ones that are here all the time will be in my Soulforge extra video, which will be in a link in the description below, so no need to go over these all the time. Alright, what's first? Flammifer. That's a good old weapon. Like it a lot. Very good in a red team. Creates 10 red gems. Deals magic +2 damage to an enemy boosted by red gems. So really good in a team where you want a lot of red very quickly. Its only weakness, if you like, is the fact that it uses yellow and brown, so can't self-charge. But yeah, do like it a lot. Flammifer, really good in a team where you want a lot of red quickly. Doomed Club, one of the best doomed weapons for me. Absolutely love this. Does magic +3 damage to all enemies +1 per tempering level boost, which is significant. Then transform green gems to doom skulls, and if the enemy has a doom, create 5 more. And gain 3 mana for each brown enemy. So a powerful weapon just regardless, because of that damage to all and that transform green gems to doom skulls. But if you're against an all brown team and you use this, then you're like 12 mana back straight away when you cast it. It's nuts. It's really good. And if you combine that really well with that transform green gems to doom skulls, you get a lot of damage at the same time, as well as that damage to all, as well as doom skulls explode, which means it could actually self-charge. It's yeah, fantastic weapon. One of the best doomed weapons. Absolutely pick it up if you can. Shagra's Spine, dealing magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by giant allies. Then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each giant ally. So the same rule as before in this. Like this uses green and red, creates blue and brown. So you're going to need at least 1 or 2 other troops in your team that use a blue and a brown giants as well. Doomed Gavel. Does magic-based splash damage to an enemy, +4 per tempering level. Stun yellow enemies, cleanse yellow allies, explode 4 gems. If the enemy has a doom, explode 3 more. So splash damage, fairly decent with a boost. Can be useful in certain teams if you need to particularly stun the enemy with a cleanse at the same time. So situational, but not too bad. Whomp. That's literally what it says when it bashes you around the head. Whomp. Deals damage to an enemy boosted by Broken Spire allies. Then create a mix of 6 red and brown gems for each Broken Spire ally. So again, like the other weapon, we need a full team of this case Broken Spire allies to make the most of that. All that red and brown creates, or uses rather, blue and yellow, but creates tons of red and brown. So again, make sure you got at least a couple of troops in your team that are from Broken Spire to make the most of that. Delicious, lovely 1p mana. Fire God's Heart. Explodes magic +1 red gems. Grants a random status effect to all Broken Spire allies. Then summons a Broken Spire troop. Do you like these explodey, summony weapons? Exploding gems, getting mana for the team. Status effects to Broken Spire allies and a summon at the same time. Very nice. Wand of Stars is here all the time, but it's not in my Soulforge extra video because Wand of Stars came out after I made that video. But if you can make it, if you can craft it, absolutely do so. Got to be the best weapon in the game. It's just ridiculous. Create 6 elemental stars, bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and cursing all enemies. Just so good. Such a good mana generator, but it's just so good for those other things as well. The bless, when you cast that option, makes you effectively impervious. All your team effectively becomes impervious. And the other option, to create 7 umbral stars, curses all enemies, which is really good. You can remove all status effects. You can take away submerge and things like that with that. Really, really good. Love the Wonder Stars. What else we got? The Molten Ward. Barrier myself. Not a bad start. Going to save you from one incoming lot of damage. Then give a magic-based armor to all allies, boosted by burning gems. If I'm burning, gain an extra turn. That last bit's a bit unusual. You're only going to get an extra turn if you're on fire. So you kind of, in a way, you're going to lose 3 health every turn. But if you're burning, you actually get an extra turn. Bit odd, but yeah, interesting weapon. Slashing Embers. Convert all gems in an upwards or downwards diagonal into burning gems and deal magic-based scatter damage. So yeah, nothing too fantastic there. More collectible than anything. Axe of Fire. Deal magic-based damage to the first enemy, then create 7 red gems. So not too bad because it uses red itself and it's a low mana cost weapon. Damage to the first enemy can be certainly useful, as is the creation of those 7 red gems. But 7 is a bit of a middling amount. Unless there's a load of red there already, you're most likely to set the enemy up as you are to make a match and collect it yourself. So, a bit of a risky weapon, that one. Doomed Band. Sounds like a group of rockers that just haven't made any decent songs or something. Anyway. Gives 2 magic to all allies with a +1 per tempering level boost. Then give magic +2 armor to brown allies if the enemy has a doom, gain 10 attack. So magic to all allies is alright with that tempering level boost, but it's not a huge boost really when you look at it, even with that tempering level. And the armor is only to brown allies, so yeah, quite situational, that one. Lodestar. Convert 3 green gems to booty gems, then convert all yellow gems to doom skulls. Not a particularly good spell. You look at it and you think the only real good thing about that is obviously converting yellow gems to doom skulls. But this is definitely a weapon you should craft today without fail. And the reason is, if you haven't got the Ruby Macaque, an absolutely fantastic weapon, you need a Lodestar to do it. So to craft the Ruby Macaque, you need 3 other weapons. You need the Dread Arquebus. You need a Lodestar, which is here right now. You also need the Dread Cutlass. So even if you think like Lodestar is a rubbish weapon, you're never going to use it, then craft it anyway because the Ruby Macaque is absolutely awesome. And you will absolutely need that to do it. So absolutely craft Lodestar today if you want the Ruby Macaque. And you should do because it's awesome. Dealing magic +2 true damage to all enemies. That's already a great start. Then create 3 booty gems and explode 5 gems. So, a true damage to all enemies creates booty gems, which then explode gems. You collect mana, and you can collect gold at the same time. As it would say, really, really good all-round weapon. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Love the Ruby Macaque. So, you just get Lodestar today. If you got the resources, just get Lodestar because you will want the Ruby Macaque later. And if you don't get Lodestar today, you're gonna have to wait forever to get it again, and then you'll have the other stuff. And then you'll be sitting there and everyone's just smashing your face in with the Ruby Macaque and things like that. And it's like, oh my god, why didn't I get Lodestar? So, yes, get Lodestar. Do you see? Alright, now on to the troops. If you're a newer player or if you're missing any troops from the game, have a little gander through these summoning stones and see if you're missing anybody. Venerabilix, pretty useful troop there, converting all brown gems to yellow dragon gems, giving 1 magic to all allies and starting battles with full mana. Very, very handy indeed. Let's have a little look through all of them. See if there's anybody you're missing. And yeah, see if you can grab some summoning stones and see if you get lucky. No one too unmissable there, but always worth a quick look. Right, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Same deal as before, not going over all the troops that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. But first up we have Mandragora. Dealing magic-based scatter damage boosted by webbed enemies, then create 10 purple gems. The thing I like about this kind of troop is the traits work really, really well automatically with its own spell. And 21 mana cost is not that high for a mythic, it's kind of the lower end. And reduced damage from skulls by 33% is decent. Gain bonus purple mana from purple gem matches is alright, because we can be doing that because it uses purple. And webbed branches. Web a random enemy when matching purple gems. The thing I like about mythics is quite often the spell doesn't sound too spectacular, but the strength can be in its traits. These aren't particularly powerful traits, but web is a very, very powerful trait. When you web someone, you reduce their magic to 0, which can quite often basically make their spell almost insignificant. It can absolutely just turn them into from a demonic wrecking machine into a moldy trifle. It's literally that powerful. Very good. And you get that just by matching purple, which is nice because you obviously match purple A to charge it up, and B, when you cast it, you create 10 purple gems. So you can get all the enemy webbed up, can self-charge at the same time and do it again. Just a shame that scatter damage initially is a bit low, but the boost ratio is times 10. So you can actually get that damage boosted up significantly. So yeah, I do like a bit of Mandragora. Not bad at all. Guardian of Law. Powerful troop this, I do like it. Choose one. Deal magic-based true damage to a chosen enemy, death mark them, and drain their mana. That's a really good first option. Or deal magic-based damage to all other enemies. Standard damage, not true damage, and that is it. So most of the time you will be picking that first option. True damage is excellent, bypasses armor. Death mark, they could just die. And you can use it to drain their mana at the same time. You can use it for the damage option, as well as just to drain mana from a powerful troop which was nearly ready to cast. So yeah, do like the spell. But the traits are good as well. All allies gain 2 random skill points is sort of standard. But Holy Armor, reduced damage from skulls by 40% is good. But Beyond Reproach, reduced damage from spells by 80%. That's like having to hit this thing 4 or 5 times more than you would do normally, spells to get rid of it. Very powerful indeed. I like it a lot. Aquaria. Does magic plus 3 splash damage to 3 random enemies boosted by submerged allies. So certainly not as good as Aquaticus for me. I like the fact it does splash damage, but splash damage, if you're unlucky, can hit less enemies. If it decides to hit the top troop and the bottom troop, for example, you're going to be missing out on damage, because when you do splash damage, it affects the adjacent troops, and they have to be immediately adjacent. So you only get the full effect of splash damage if it decides to target the second and third troops and a full team on the enemy. But it is boosted by submerged allies, so it's okay for that. But yeah, the traits again are nothing fantastic. Submerge myself when I take damage, create a blue gem when my turn begins, and give 4 life to all blue allies when matching blue gems. So certainly not as good as Aquaticus. I love Aquaticus for that fourth trait that she has, submerge all allies on the 4 match, which is a great defense against damage to all teams. But yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Just not spectacular. And who else have we got? There's one more. Will of Nysha. Not particularly good. Steal 3 magic from all enemies, then deal magic plus 1 damage to them. So not a huge amount of damage for a mythic. I mean, she does go up in power every single time you cast it, so obviously you steal 3 magic from all enemies at the same time, which means that's going to go up by 12. That damage goes up by 12 every single time you cast it. But she goes up in power more than that as well, because of Essence of Magic. All purple allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. So she uses purple, so her magic will go up every turn as well. And does have reduced damage from spells by 50%. But yeah, all around she's just not that great, even though she is holding 2 glowing orbs of stuff in her hands. Right, so let's have a quick look at the legendaries then. Where are they? Who's first? Usually say don't craft legendaries using your diamonds. Your diamonds are much better spent holding on to them for the much harder to get mythics. Unless it's somebody absolutely essential, like a Tesla or a Yao Guai, something like that. But Ghost Queen is a decent legendary, really good. Steal 7 mana from an enemy. slowing them down on their ability to cast spells, then deal magic +3 life damage boosted by purple gems. So stealing life is the same as true damage, but it's better than that because you actually steal it from them and give it to yourself. Yeah, I like it. And all undead allies start with 50% mana. Very nice indeed. Do like a bit of the Ghost Queen in a Grey King team. For example, Dullahan. He's got pumpkin head. In fact, he hasn't got an head. He's on a pumpkin, but his head's gone. What the heck? Anyway, deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by ally in enemy deaths. Kill either the first enemy or first ally. Yes, you read all of that correct. Kill either the first enemy or first ally. Yeah, interesting troop. Headhunter, which he needs because he hasn't got an head. 50% chance to summon a Valgor when an enemy dies, and Undying are the best of the two of the traits. But Necromancy is alright if you need to get souls still. Yeah, interesting troop that one. Ursula. All Urska allies start with 50% mana is nice, and does scatter damage boosted by enraged allies. Enrage all allies and give them 6 attack. Artemis. Explodes a row, getting mana for the team. Does damage to the 2 weakest enemies boosted by ally centaurs. And yeah, an okay set of traits, nothing spectacular. So, who gets my Mythic of the Week? Well, it's not going to be you, Mrs. Glowy Orbs. Certainly not. And it's not going to be Aquaria. It's alright, Aquaria. Damage to 3. Random enemy splash damage. But yeah, just not enough. Not enough going on there, even though it can be useful in certain teams. So for me, it's between Guardian of Law and Mandragora. Bit of a tricky one, this, because it kind of depends on your playstyle to a certain degree. I mean, this can certainly be really good in certain teams. If you've got a Purple Storm going on at the same time as casting this, the likelihood is you're going to get to loop with this quite a lot. And you can keep on doing that scatter damage. Keep on refilling, looping, webbing the whole team, getting them all screwed up, and doing it again. So really cool. But I do like Guardian of Law. I love the fact that you can use its spell in different ways. You can hit it just for the true damage, but at the same time get a bonus of death mark and draining their mana. If they're about to cast and they're really powerful, you can just drain their mana and have the bonus of the damage. Or you can do the damage to all if you need to. But I love them traits as well. Pain on the PvP sometimes as well. So it's almost a roll of the dice on these two in a way. And like I say, I think it will depend upon your playstyle. Some people will say Guardian of Law. Some people would say Mandragora. But just because it's an annoyance as well, I am going to give it to Guardian of Law. Just. Very good spell. Very nice traits. So Guardian of Law pinches just about my Mythic of the Week. I'll be back later on with my teams for the World event and Underspire. So look out for them. But if you enjoyed this video, it'd be really cool if you bashed that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.